Hello, welcome back to Blender Series LiveNoding. In this episode, we're gonna be doing Kirigami inside Blender. Kirigami is like a variation of origami. With origami, you have like a normally like a square paper, and then you fold it until you create like a paper crane. And with a Kirigami, you can actually make a cut, and the cut will create a like some kind of fold, and as a result, you get something that's more intricate. A simple fold is like a kind of when you open like a card, greetings card, and you can see the inside. This is actually one example of Kirigami, and you can actually design this inside Blender. It's slightly complicated. It can be really complicated, and because you have to think about the pattern, but it's kind of rewarding once you understand the process. It's not that complicated. We can do this because we have rigid origami folding nodes in Blender via SVerchok add-on. Okay, I talked about this in the past. So the developer Asahi Dari made this many years ago actually, but it has been updated and it turns into a node. With Kirigami, you can actually make it more 3D by think about it from this pattern into some kind of balloon. But I'm not gonna talk too much. I guess I will. Yeah, this is actually another example from Twitter X. This fox is made by cutting the fox shapes and then just folding it until you get a head and then the legs. It's actually very clever. There's a lot of variations there. Take a look at the thread anyway, so I will try to explain it inside Blender, this Kirigami or rigid origami business. So this is SVerchok nodes already installed as an add-on, and we have an example here, right? Example design rigid origami. If we do that, okay, it's gonna load. It's gonna use OpenGL for drawing. Don't worry about that. We have an example here with a viewer draw. Something is complaining. Don't worry about this. We can delete. So let me delete this viewer draw, and then instead I will just use mesh viewer. And this is the rigid origami nodes. This is the one that's doing the hard job. All we need to do is just connect the dots. Okay, let me quickly explain what's going on. Okay, so that's the fold. Let's turn on cavity, turn on shadow so we can see more clearly. This is a value that's controlling the amount of fold from 0 to 1 value. Okay, so that's the animation that I really like. And then here we have options, a couple of options. There's a division count for the simulations, fixed face, which face you want it to stay. In this case, that face over there. And then this is the edge indices that we want to fold. We can see from this number, number 13, for example, if we want to fold in or fold out. It's depending on this second value here. This is the list of value input for the fold, edge, indices, and angles. So we can control the fold. So if we want to create that kind of like the this animal, we can fold it this way, right? So it's like the most basic, and we start with just a square. So this is origami, but this is already come with SVerchok. Let's try something a little bit more interesting. Start from scratch so I can explain it again more clearly. Delete everything. SVerchok, SVerchok nodes, new, Shift A, create origami, okay, rigid origami nodes. This node used to be a script noded light SNL nodes, like custom node, but this one is now real nodes. It's a lot faster. Let's create a line. Start with a line. Mesh viewer. Why do I start with a line? I'll show you in a bit. Select the line, go to edit mode. How many vertices? Okay, this is a line, and this is how we subdivide the lines, right? And we want to fold, we're gonna turn this line into edges, into faces by extruding it. And then we're gonna fold it. Line SVerchok is kind of special that we can control the step, the range of the step. So random number generator. Let's make it, yeah, make it like this. So 10 divisions with a random value in between. You can see the lines. Okay, the points of the lines is random. So let's save this very quickly. And after we have line, we can extrude edges of the line. Extrude it sideways. Right, so now we have a piece of paper. It doesn't need to be square, but we're gonna create fold from this. We can randomize the distance. So in order to make sense with the fold, first of all, we need to see the index where we want to fold the edges. So we use the index viewer node. Select this node, and then tap V, and then we turn on the background so it's clearer. We're gonna turn on the vertices and the face, or maybe just the edges and the face. So now we can see the number of the edges, the index number. Now that's working, we can use the origami nodes, and then we need to have the edges and the faces connected. The edges and the faces goes there, and then we need the fold indices. So list input list. Let's create a couple for now. We're gonna fold on 21, 22, 23, 24 for example. And we're gonna duplicate this. It's gonna be the fold. So that's the indices, that's the fold. Okay, suddenly it's working. Look, fold ratio goes from 0 to 1. It can actually do like a spiral, and we can make it a fold like a mountain or valley. I think there's an app. I don't know, maybe it's in Japanese. I think maybe it's free as well, but yeah, it's a mountain and the crease. This is the pattern. If we at the moment we are doing it all procedurally using nodes, right? If it would be nice if we can get inside and then select the edges, and then and then just mark it as mountain and valley, and then just transfer that data into SVerchok, or even like geometry nodes. So far I just talk about SVerchok, but yeah, I just want to show you the process. So this is the fold, ratio, and then we can control the amount of fold and the angle of the fold using this value. I think this could be like a nice tool for joints animation as well. If you watch Transformers, I think that's kind of what's happening. So let's say we want to have more fold. Let's increase this. 27, 28, 29. We want to fold that. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's fold this. Like, see? Suddenly we have something that's almost like a 3D, right? Almost. Because what's happening here with, we can of course just draw this and then just extrude, right? But you know, maybe the surface is not that simple. We can have like a multiple fold and then the shapes can be really complicated, but I'm just showing you the basic. So I just solidify and then remesh and then sculpt mode. You know what, I'm always gonna do this. Cloth filter, inflate. There. Yeah, I mean, if we inflate it too much, it's becoming a pillow. If it's just a little bit, you know, it's something. Save this for now. SVerchok being SVerchok, you can actually randomize this. You can randomize the cut and pattern. If you want to go a little bit complicated, think about this kind of pattern, magic flower. I haven't managed to make this to work, but this is the idea. Okay, we have addon, and then I'm using this matrix apply. I think this should be another video, but I want to make like some kind of flower that kind of folding itself automatically. I need to think of the easiest way to turn this into something that's like a pattern, like a flower pattern. So it's gonna fold itself into flower before it's showing its petal, and then it's gonna fold out beautifully. I have an addon, and I use matrix apply, and then I use I rotate and scale the addon. Okay, it is almost like in geometry nodes you use repeat nodes to do this. With SVerchok, it's actually a lot easier, right? So I rotate, join them together, and I want to intersect edges. I making sure they are all intersecting. Actually, this is the complex part. It's making all this cut into this guy, and all I want to do is to fold it. So the next thing we want is to fold. It's not simple, I know, but just an idea. I can see I can fold that little thing because I know the number. See? So I can fold the end part there. The rest of them, you know, I have to think the mountain and the valley of the cut, and some areas I think probably easier if I just do like a manual cut, and then just simply it will be easier if we just mark the edges, which one is mountain, which one is valley, and then just send it to SVerchok and then do the rigid origami. But just an idea. So with this guy over here, like I said, we can randomize. We get different shape design. So we could design a chair, right? With this idea. And what is this? Okay, this is the length. We can actually subdivide as well and make a fold at the center. Not gonna do that. We can also random number. We can use random number for the fold. This rigid origami nodes doesn't care. Random number between -5 and -6 and 6 maybe. This goes into the fold. Yeah, I think this is the cool part with SVerchok. That's not geometry nodes, but yeah, you can easily, because everything in SVerchok is factorized, all the numbers coming in, you can have 10 numbers, 5, 20, or random numbers, arbitrary numbers, and then it goes into the input, and then the SVerchok will handles everything, and then you got the output. Okay, so that's pretty much what I want to show you. So you can randomize the length of the line. You get different result each time. Okay, so yeah, we create something. This is Kirigami inside Blender. It can get really complex. Maybe I will make another video again. But hopefully you find this useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.